So you were just commenting on the odd reaction on the the fighters making weight.
I haven't seen a crowd like that cheer for somebody making weight. You know, everybody's going, is she going to make weight? Is she not going to make weight? Is Cyborg going to make weight? So, you know, I think everybody's happy now.
How about your reaction?
I was happy, yeah. I think it would have been a disappointment if, you know,
of course,
if they didn't make weight, for sure. Because, you know, I feel like it's a big fight. You know, it's a big opportunity. And first time Showtime has put a female main event on, and that statement alone is saying a lot. And if they didn't make weight, it would have been disappointing.
So were you worried? Because, I mean, this has not been an easy path to this fight card, and it's not like you want to turn around and tell Showtime, oh, now your main event is screwed up after all these fighters have been dumped as well.
That would have been an interesting conversation, right? But I tell you what, we took a lot of proactive measures to, you know, make sure that didn't happen. You know, we're weighing the girls all week when they got here, and you know,
how close
on
were
the scale?
How close were they? Were they pretty close?
Yeah, because when Gina went to sleep last night, she was right at weight. You know, so and then
Tuesday she was. I was impressed when I saw Tuesday in the sense that I knew that she was going to make weight on Tuesday.
Yeah, when she showed up in town, you could tell she's in shape.
Yeah.
She's done her work. And same thing with Cyborg. Cyborg looked in shape, and I was more concerned about Cyborg because, you know, last time she was 152, and you know, I talked to Bruno, her trainer, the shootbox trainer from Brazil, and I said, Bruno, she has to make weight, you know. So, you know, she did, and when they landed here, she was 152. She's 152 pounds, and I called my guys. I said, hey, what do you think? Is this, you know, in striking distance? And they said, yeah. So we just let her do her thing and didn't interrupt. But we weighed them every day just to make sure.
Have you ever done that before, where you had to watch it so closely, and that the fighters agreed to do that too?
You know, I'll tell you. You know, I know it's done all the time, and you know, we don't. You know, our fight team, you know, monitors the guys, but I don't think we've been this diligent about that because this is such a high-profile event and it's a major fight for television. It's a major fight for us. It's a major fight for female fighting. Period. You know.
How much pressure do you think on them to both produce ratings or interest or the whole thing? Because it's, you know, it's all those numbers are going to be judged on them. The way I look at it, you know.
Well, I think that you know, if you see most of the media, it's all around Gina and her journey to this fight against, you know, Cyborg is a killer. She reminds me. I call her the Vanderlei Silva of female MMA because that's how she fights. She's from the same gym, you know. She boxes in Brazil, and when she comes out, she brings it just like Vanderlei does, you know, or used to, you know, and still does. But you know, she's going to bring it, and I think Gina has a good game plan. I think Randy, you know, feels confident, and when the coach feels confident, then I feel confident, you know, and so I feel confident it's going to be a great fight.
Does it make for a good promotion that so many people are kind of overlooking Gina? It's kind of like the animal against the pretty one, and not giving her enough credit as a fighter?
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a really good question because the people that know the business has you know, followed her. I followed her career for a long time. I mean, I promoted kickboxing fights where she was an undercard match. Then I promoted her MMA fight here in 2006, and you know, she's a warrior. So she's proven herself in MMA already. But in this situation, she's the undercard because, you know, Cyborg is Cyborg, and so she is underdog. But you know, I think that makes it almost maybe not as stressful as if she was the favorite going into this fight, and then having to deliver the big fight and the big show, you know, at the end of the day.
How do you think it's going to do? You know, female fight as the header, how are you going to do sales-wise? How are you going to do in terms of viewership?
Sales are scaling right there with the Shamrock Diaz fight.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. So it's picked up in the last week.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, what was it early? About 10 or 12? Or was it less than that?
No,
I mean, how much of a rush are you getting here at the end?
Well, Shamrock Diaz did, I think it did like 12,500 or 700, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And paid. There were more than that in the building, I think.
There were 15 in the building.
Yeah, because
14 maybe in the building.
Yeah, and so, you know, we'll see. I mean, right now I think the last ticket report I saw, we were at like 10.8, 10.9 and growing, you know. So I think that, you know, the last couple of days you'll have the walk-up and everything. But I think we'll have 13,000, 14,000 people.
Then that's a big success.
No, it's a great success already.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially considering some of the drama that you've had to deal with.
A lot of the drama, you know. But when your main event stays intact, it's a good day. When the main event drops out, it's a tough day.
Was there ever a cease and desist with this Mousasi Babalu fight?
You know,
was there any challenge from UFC?
You know what? it's, there was a confusion between the signed contracts and what was in the contracts, and I believe there was at a letter towards the end there, and we responded, and but I think it's just a misunderstanding because honestly, it's very clear that in our contract that we lent him to Affliction, and Affliction has no right.
So when did you originally sign Musashi?
He was originally going to fight this fight against Babalu, let's say 3 months ago, when we scheduled the card. No, here.
Oh, from San Jose.
Yeah, because what happened was we started planning the fight in San Jose, and we said, okay, I want Babalu to fight. I contacted Dreams. We started because he was fighting for Dreams exclusively at the time, and I said, let's do this fight, and he said, okay, fine. Then I got a call from Todd and Tom, and they said, hey, we really want Babalu to come fight in LA for the Affliction card because there's a big draw here. Can you do anything? Can you let him go? So we said, okay, you know what? You guys can have Babalu, and then we'll just get somebody else to fight. And then we booked our fight card and Alistair and that card. But originally that fight was supposed to happen here anyway. And it's weird, the turn of events that went all the way there, the show gets canceled, and then we have a cancellation, and then it ends up back here. That's really what happened to that fight. So that fight was supposed to happen anyway, and I think it'll be great for the fans to check it out.